What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we're trying to do our best to be the bridge to help all of our fellow investors understand the opportunity in crypto, it being the best opportunity, in our opinions, over the next few years. So if that's something that interests you, you're in the right place at the right time. We're pumped to be here, pumped to have you guys on the show. Today is Open Mic Friday, so we'll post the link to join the show if you want in the comments. And we love to have any of you guys jump in and come talk to us about Pulse Chain and Richard Hart and whatever else you may want to talk to. Corey, take it away.
Yeah, Corey Geary here, and it's a beautiful morning out here in Puerto Rico, and just loving life, truly blessed. I got the keys to my new house, which is totally cool. I'm moving in there tomorrow, so that's my new island casa. And man, I'm just loving this journey that we're on, and then we're, going with our friends and family and our entrepreneur buddies. This wealth creation journey, where we're going to use real estate use crypto as wealth creation, and use real estate as wealth preservation. And man, what a time with the FUD that we've been seeing in the marketplace, and specifically, obviously, to PulseX, because that's where a lot of the FUD was at. And we saw, it's funny because we saw a lot of FUD. The price chart took a small hit when the FUD happened, but we bounced right back rather quickly. We're back where we are before the FUD on PulseX and Pulse. So like both pairs took the hit, not a tremendous one, maybe 10% was the hit. And then we bounced right back up. So I don't know. It's quite interesting. I'm wondering if it's because we're so much closer to the bottoming of the ecosystem than the top. That could be. I don't know. I'm just kind of talking out of my butt here, and because I don't know, right? It's hard to tell whether or not why we didn't really. I thought we'd take a lot bigger hit, to be honest with you, Dame. I thought we were going to see 4 zeros and a 5 on Pulse, and I thought we were going to see PulseX just absolutely get slaughtered. I really did. And so I was very very surprised and optimistic when I saw this morning that the whole kind of ecosystem was slightly pumping. I was like, what? Okay. Well, cool. Maybe we are closer to the bottom than I thought we were. I don't know, right? Maybe we still have one more leg down. That's why DCA is always king, guys. I cannot stress enough how DCA is king in times of uncertainty, because you want to try to have a little bit of economic energy. You don't have to have a lot when you have another leg down. So, that's my thought process on this more recent FUD. I think Richard Hart, he's here's my thought process around this. I think he is a red personality, extreme red personality, which most entrepreneurs are. As you know, Dane, as I know, we make decisions quick. We shoot first and then aim second a lot of times in our life. That's kind of how we live our life. And I don't think Richard's any different than that. I think what he did is he responded to a lot of the Twitter people beating on him about the single side. Hold on, we got a motorcycle passing by my window. I think he responded rather quickly to the single-sided staking without giving too much thought. Without giving too much thought process. And then I think after he got the hate that came his way after his tweet, he went and deleted the tweet and then came back with a more thought out response. And I think he has the impulse reactions and doesn't think too much before he speaks. A lot of entrepreneurs have this. A lot of red personalities will do this. Is why some of us get a little bit in trouble. We get in trouble with our money. Like sometimes we'll see a new shiny object investment. We're like, oh, I want some of that, and we'll go do it. And then next one we do, like, oh crap, that sucked. I should have thought a little bit harder about doing that. The yellow, I think it's like you have the personality test. And I can't remember right. We used to do this for our sales agents. You have the green personality, the yellow personality, the red personality, the blue personality. Blue is social. Red, you make decisions fast. You're very aggressive. You're like a bull. You're good at negotiations. A lot of entrepreneurs fit in the red. The yellows, the more analytical. They sit back and they think before they make a move.
I think it's the green that's analytical, and the yellow is after fun.
You could be right. But most entrepreneurs fit in the red and blue. And I'm a mix between the red and blue. I'm very social. I love to go out and have fun. I love to intermingle with other human beings. It's part of my DNA. I just love it, and I make decisions fast. That's how, like, the whole Puerto Rico thing. I was literally made the decision having dinner with all the Hexicans out here. I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool, I'm moving here. That's it, done. And I did it, right? And it's like, this is the way I live my life. And I feel like Richard's probably somewhere in the same, and I could be wrong about this, but that's just my thought process. He seems to shoot first and then aim later, and he doesn't give too much thought in some of his actions, and he needs to. He really does need to. I'm not sticking up for him or anything like that. I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm not saying that. I just know my thoughts on this whole situation and the way I live life sometimes. And I've definitely done a lot of actions first, and then afterwards to think, oh man, I should have put more thought into what I just did. And I've done that a lot in my life. And so Richard Hart's human.
Yeah. I think Richard showed his hand with how he feels about the single side staking on PulseX. I think that if it does come, he's just not. It's not a priority, and so if that was something that was important to you, then that's deflating and disappointing. Me being one of those, I was excited about the single side staking to be able to make some passive income on our PulseX. And I went ahead and rotated. I rotated the majority of my PulseX to Pulse after that tweet. I just feel real comfortable holding Pulse at this point, and I'll show you guys. It's interesting to look at. So,
I'll bring in Norton while you're doing that.
Oh yeah, we got Norbert on.
He's in we'll bring him on stream while you're kind of showing what we got here.
So it's interesting. Before Richard Hart tweeted about single side staking being dead on PulseX, and then recanting that and saying, well, it's just low on the priority list. The ratio from Pulse to PulseX, it was like 1 to 2.7 or so, and we've seen that gap widen here even after some price correction. Which is interesting. Not a huge
yeah,
surprisingly holding that ratio.
Surprisingly enough to me, Dane, it feels like it barely impacted it at all.
Yeah, it was just a quick blip and then back up. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm thinking I think single-sided staking will still come, and I still think that we can see I still think PulseX can still rise against Pulse if narratives, if single-sided staking narratives comes back. It might be 6 months. I don't know. It could be a while. And yeah, you could make passive income on your Pulse running a node validator and doing other things with other assets to earn money, while PulseX right now just kind of sits there, unless you want to provide liquidity with it, I guess. You could do that to earn passive income with it. But I don't know, man. I think he reacted out of anger on that initial tweet. That's what I think. I think he responded first and then didn't put much thought process behind it. And so that's my thought. I could be wrong, but I've given it a lot of thought. And it's just where you always got to come to your own conclusion.
Right.
It's like everybody's going to come to their own conclusion differently, and I don't know. I'm still more bullish on Pulse. Don't get me wrong, dude. Like I'm definitely more bullish on Pulse. Every new dollar I have coming into my home, it's going into Pulse. That's a for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, and even if I mean, even if the two stay within these ratios 1 to 3 ish, and I mean, theoretically, yeah, you have similar price run from these levels if they stay relatively close to each other in that ratio. It'll be interesting to look at.
It may or may not. You might end up like the ratio might end up going like 1 to 5, or I don't know.
Right.
You just don't know. And but then it goes to 1 to 5, and then Richard Hart finding 6 months later, he's like, "Okay, we're going to do the single-sided staking," and then it closes up to 2.5 to 1, and it's like, man, we are playing with so many unknowables.
Yeah, I really like, and in the end of the day, you can create competition for Hex, you could create competition for PulseX, you can create competition for Ink on Pulse Chain, but you can't create competition for Pulse because it's the layer one on Pulse.
That I agree with.
I think there's a lot to be said about that.
I will agree with that 120%, and that is why every new dollar of mine, and I've been doing this for the last maybe month, maybe even 2 months. I think it's been 2 months now. It was shortly. I might have the first 2 weeks. I bought some PulseX, I bought some Hex, but every single new dollar of mine goes only in the Pulse and Pulse only. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's a fair play. Got some really good questions here, or some good comments as well. Let me Island Boys. Is Firefighter 82 from our from one of our other groups?
I think he is.
Okay, cool.
I think he's in the group.
It's good to see you. Good to see you guys on. Good to see you guys on. What color is 80% geek? That's green. That's 100% green.
Yeah.
Asking for a friend. I like it. Tetra can build single-sided staking regardless. That's interesting. How would that work?
Yeah, how to D-Hexian, I'd be interested to know. And you could come on the show and explain it to us. And if you want to explain it to us, because we're kind of, kindergartens when it comes to some of this techie stuff. I have to people show me hand by hand how to do it. I'd be interested to know how that's going to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, come jump in the show. EP says, I think the gap could widen and you might be able to buy back PulseX later at a better rate.
You're right.
Yeah. I think there's a decent chance of that. Yeah. We'll see. What's up, Drew? What's up, Norbert? Good to have you guys on today.
Good to be back.
Hello, guys.
Good to have you. So what are your guys' thoughts on Richard's tweeting about single-sided staking with PulseX and then recanting?
Drew, you want to go first?
Sure. I really don't care either way. I'm just DCAing into Pulse over time, and it's going to come when it comes. Whatever FUD happens. I'm just every 2 weeks, every month, just put in the same amount as I get new income and just add it into Pulse Chain and see what happens. So I'm not really concerned about whatever FUD happens between now and whatever crazy returns we get in the bull market.
I like it. I think that's a really reasonable approach.
He's keeping a very calm approach with no emotion and keeping to the plan is what he's doing. He's just keeping to the same plan, keeping the emotions out of the equation, and that's how you are successful in crypto.
I like to keep things. I like to use the old anagram of a KISS: keep it simple, stupid, and just not think about things and just go along. Here's the plan, and just follow the plan.
I like it too, man. I try to live my whole life like that. Except for I make my life complicated. I'm the reason why stuff gets complicated.
Sure. I do the same thing. How about you, Norbert? What are your thoughts?
It was interesting the way how you started it, approaching this entire situation with the entrepreneur mindset, like a business owner. And, okay, Pulse Chain started, and then we started seeing, what is going on, how the people are reacting, what sort of moves they make. And if Richard sees it better not to have single-sided staking, I'm sure it has a reason, number one. And then you were pointed out really well that we still have the liquidity pool, so you can still earn money on your PulseX if you want it. And then also going to be new projects coming out. I think the Power City guys, they're going to use PulseX for that to get a loan against your assets, just like liquid loans. So then again, you have another option to do things with. Then you can also take some of your POSEX and put it on Fox, on PHUX, So there's so many options in my eyes. And then it also by itself, the token has the buy and burn. So why do we want an extra? Okay, it would be nice. Don't take me wrong. It would be nice to have a single-sided staking option on that asset, but we already have the buy and burn, which is, can you point me many other tokens on the crypto market which does that? I don't think so. It's not that many around, but we still have. I think it's nearly 1% of the total supply is gone in like 50 days.
I know it is pretty crazy.
So and then maybe, and then Richard pointed out that he has to build, the devs has, like, imagine you have a business, you have a to-do list. What is the main priority here? Go.hex.com. I want to have that working flawlessly. Doesn't matter which chain I'm on, because that's like your business card. That's your reputation front hand. Not that POSEX do a single side staking or not, So yeah, even if he changed it, even if it's not going to be ever again, I'm sure people, if there is an opportunity for others to see and live with it, then they're just going to create a system. But like I said, Power City hopefully is going to come out with it soon. And then there you go. You have your single-sided staking, kind of,
Yeah.
No, it's not the same thing, but.
That's good perspective. I like it. What's up, DHEX? We'd love to, talk to us about Tetra and how it could accomplish single-sided staking. I haven't thought that through.
All right. So basically, with single-sided staking, it's already there in the background on the contract, so you can actually access that. And so we'll be going into beta in about 3 weeks. We'll be able to line that up on testnet, and we'd be able to build it. But at this stage, it's not something that we'll necessarily put at the forefront of what we're doing. But if RH decides not to do it, we can do it.
Wow,
So we can.
Cool. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, so all of that functionality is built in, and we'll be able to kind of access it. It's sort of like grabbing all the function calls off of Tornado Cash. We can do that. So like anything that's on the blockchain, even if it's blocked by governments, doesn't, preclude us from interacting with that contract.
Sure. No, that makes sense. Talk to us. Go ahead, Corey, if you've got something. I want to hear more about Tetra in general and updates and what's going on there.
That fascinates the crap out of me. I didn't realize that it was already part of the code. I guess that makes sense because it was a fork of like the Pancake Swap, if I'm not mistaken. And that would make sense that the single-sided staking would be already built in, and that's why you have that section there for it.
Yeah, like I don't specifically know, but we'll be able to tell you in a couple of weeks' time anyway. So I'm not 100% sure because I haven't looked at the code myself. I'm not a coder, but I'm pretty sure that would be pretty easy to implement, regardless of anything else. We can use Fox, we can use anything.
Oh, and it would it be done through the Tetra protocol then, or will you guys would just put it on PulseX, or how would it look, or how would I access it?
So yeah, you just attach it as a front end, and it would run through Tetra.
Oh,
that's cool.
You wouldn't have to have Tetra's name on it either. It can be delivered to RH for him if that's what he wants to do. But like, we're not in discussions with RH to do that. That's his baby. So, if the community wanted it, we could build it. So it's not something that we're pushing for, but obviously it can be built.
I like it. What are you guys pushing for? What's kind of on the docket first and foremost with Tetra? What's going on over there?
So automating swing trading, automating your LP positions, things like for your the LP farming, for automating that kind of process for you guys. yeah, those will be the first things that are built. I think we'll be building a lot of the strategies in the background when we get the beta up, and then it'll just be easy to load it to Atlas and give you guys the keys to do it. Obviously, all the strategies will be built into your strategy wallet. They won't. You'll have full custodial. Well, what's the best word for it? You'll have your own custody of it. Yeah. So yeah, you'll be able to implement those strategies pretty much straight away, drop and drag. I know that, like Corey, you'd be aware that we launched on Pulse Chain just the other day. So yeah, it's going really well.
Yesterday. Like
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah. So I know Stu's updating the website, so we're going to have testnet for staking pretty soon. So keep your eye out for that. And then moving forward, he'll launch the staking, but he'll keep us informed on that within the Telegram group and Twitter.
Cool. Very cool.
Super exciting. I'm a fan of Tetra. You guys pull this off or put it together just right. I think it could be one of the most, in my opinion, I always could be wrong. I'm just a dude on the internet, but I think it could be one of the most explosive protocols on Pulse Chain. It could be. You guys are solving a massive problem in the ecosystem. Is the way I look at it. Anytime you solve a problem, and this is in real life too, not just in blockchain, right? Anytime you solve a problem, you get really wealthy.
Absolutely.
Well, it has potential, but like I don't.
It has a potential. Yep.
Yeah, I
We'll
mean,
see.
until it's built, we need to sit there and wait.
I'm along for the ride with you guys, so I'm definitely a supporter. I own some Tetra, full disclosure, and I'd like to see how this all plays out. So it excites me.
You'll be interested to know that we some of the guys within the community set up a pool tonight on Fux. So there's a little bit of LP there.
I better
so
get in there. Well, okay. You just combined my favorite protocols all together. Let's just throw everything I love in one place.
Yeah. So look for the Fuxing Haggis pool.
Okay, I will do that. Yes, sir. That's first order on the docket today for me.
All right, no dramas, man.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna go find it.
You're going to go find it right now?
Yeah, let's go and take a look at it here.
Hey, Norbert and Drew, are you guys familiar with Tetra and what they're doing and building?
I heard that it's like an old
documents.
Go ahead, Drew.
I heard that it's an automated system, so it makes your life much easier. It's like a self-driving car, which actually day before yesterday, I took my friend to a place and we were driving through London. It was crazy busy. And until now, I was against self-driving cars. But on that day, I was like, I could enjoy your company more by looking at you, talking to you properly, and then the car would do the thing and get us to the place. So kind of now I'm leaning towards, like if it comes, I might just give it a try.
I love automation. Make my life easier and more simplistic, please.
And then you can use that energy to do other things, like.
Yeah, I can get right. Exactly. It's like that's the way how you can kind of duplicate your efforts in life, right? Like we always want to wish we could clone ourselves so we can go out there and make double the money or triple the money or get the one of us can spend time with the wife while the other one's doing crypto. How cool would that be, right? But right. Automation is the second best thing that we got to that. You know what I mean? And we see it in the Web 2 world with Zapier and the protocol if then that or whatever it's called. We see it there and it works really well. When I was doing my real estate business, we love Zapier. We'd connect like our Google Ads PPC to our CRM through Zapier, and it would have automation that would go through and it would trigger different events in Web 2. And so, man, super excited.
I found it. There's a little pool here you can go and check out if you want.
What is it earning right now, Dane? Can you
No, not much. It just started. It's earning 0.09%.
It's got a little star. Can you hover over the stars for me? And then, all right. So right now, it needs more voting, is what it does. You know what, man? I have a very strong voting state coming due here. I know where I'm going to put my vote at. Now, the problem here is that you got them in bridge stables. So the only thing I'd be concerned about is my Tetra being sold for bridge stable in this. D-Hex, can you kind of educate me a little bit? Would I be concerned about my Tetra or Fux or Pulse being sold into bridge stables if the market went against me?
Oh yeah, 100%. But I think we're doing it more from like a community-led kind of perspective. So, like, I wouldn't necessarily give you financial advice to do the pool. It's more to get attention on Tetra and to bring people,
I would like the pool better. I would like the pool better if it didn't have the stable coin in there. If it was Tetra, Fux, and Pulse, those are three things I love. And I wouldn't mind which one at the end of the movie, I'm not going to mind which one I have more of. But you throw a bridge stable in there, I don't want more bridge stable at the end of the movie.
I agree with you.
You can go make the pool,
Sorry.
Corey.
I could go make that pool. That's correct. That's the cool thing about Fux. I can go
Yeah.
and create it.
Yeah, there's I haven't added liquidity to this pool, so it's just been something that's just sprung up.
It's there. Yeah, it's cool. It's there, and you need liquidity pools with the asset and then the stable coin. You have to have it. It's part of the growing of the asset, right? You need to have. If people want to sell it, they need to be able to sell it. If people want to buy it, they need to be able to buy it through the stable coins. And so you need it.
The necessary evil.
Buck's a cool dude, and we enjoy talking to him. So yeah, we thought we'd put that on there for him, and see how it goes.
How much liquidity is in there right now? What we got? 4,000, 4,600. Okay. To start though, with a little bit of a.
It's early. One of the things I really like about Fux, and in fact, Allison asks, using Fux, so what's a safe allocation in their LPs? We can't tell you what a safe allocation might be. That's a pretty subjective question. We can talk a little bit about some of the pools and what we're excited about and how they work. One of the ones that I've really been enjoying. There's this. So I got into the one of my less desirable plays. I participated in the Poly pool, which is one of the Maximus perpetuals.
Oh, you still own Poly, right, Dane?
And it's not liquid at all. Like, you can't sell it. There's no liquidity. And I'm like, man, I'd like to. Look at this. I got this Poly Wants a Bootstrap pool, and look at the APR. It's just been cranking. I'm making the same amount in Fux. And I can tell you, I've got, as far as in dollar terms, compared to my other pools, I've got, like an eighth of position size in this pool compared to like my RH Maxi pool, and they're making kind of similar payout in Fux because the APR is so strong.
Awesome.
Poly Wants a Bootstrap pool, which is cool.
I'm glad you found a use
I think it's like a quarter. If you have a quarter of this pool compared to, or a quarter to an eighth of that pool compared to the RH Maxi pool, you can see the APRs. It's been cranking, which has been cool.
Yeah, you found a use case for that Poly.
I did. I feel like Fux is cool, man. It's cool how it's creating more liquidity. Look, you've almost got getting close to $1 million in the Maxi perps up here. I know you and I, Corey, are participating in the Alex Hedron Maxi pool, which is cool. a lot of these assets that are practically illiquid, there's use case here to create more liquidity for these. And so generally speaking, the way that I understand it, when you come in here, Allison, and you look at these pools, if you were to choose to participate in any of them, the ones on the left-hand side here that are weighted the most heavily are the ones that you want to feel the most bullish on, the ones that you're more sure about price performance, all that type of stuff. And so, for instance, here in the RH Maxi pool, I like how this pool's weighted. I think it reflects a lot of potential wisdom. Maybe I changed PulseX and PHEX and their weights and just reverse them, so PHEX was weighted a little heavier than PulseX. I don't know, but you can see here, according to Buck and his team, whoever made this pool, they've weighted Pulse the most heavy, PulseX next, and so on down, with the idea that Pulse and PulseX should theoretically perform as well, if not better, than some of this stuff down here.
And Allison, I'll also comment on this. Now, obviously, we can't give any financial advice, but I would say probably the most conservative pool, in my opinion, this is an opinion, is going to be the stable coin pool, where you can go put up your stable coins that while you're waiting for your DCA, you can put your stable coins in there and they can earn you anywhere from 34 to 86% in APY, depending on your VFUX stake. And so while you're just chilling and DCAing every month, or maybe it's every week or whatever it is, you could earn some passive income on those stables.
Yep.
That was what I was just looking at, like 35% APY on stable coins. Like, that's an awesome deal. Like, dude, you don't have to worry about being diluted or
impermanent loss
on anything.
Right.
It's all liquid, so that's an awesome
it's a no-brainer for me. Funds. The only reason why I would not give up, I can't say financial advice, because there is risk. There's contract risk. You got bridged risk from the stable, like those type of normal that mostly everyone knows about. But besides those type of risk, which is normal in every protocol, really, it's a beautiful thing, man. I mean, I'm sure I'm keeping all my DCA money right now is in that stablecoin pool. And then as I put more money in crypto every single month, like I'll do a wire next month, and it's going to go straight in that pool while I'm waiting to buy some dips. You know what I mean? And just, yeah, it's so cool.
It's really cool. Yeah. So take that for what you will, Allison. Be wise in how you go and allocate towards this. One of the things that, in fact, we're on later this afternoon. We'll do a stream with Buck and Dylan from the PH team. So make sure to, if you're interested in FUX, make sure that you tune in later this afternoon. That'll be a lot of fun. But one of the things that we really like about this is there's use case for the FUX token that you're earning, and that use case is the bonus that you get for participating in these pools. So you can see the APRs in almost all of these. There's a range. So for instance, if we look at the Bridge Stable pool, it's anywhere from about 34% to 86%. And the reason that there's a range here is as you're earning your FUX token, or as you're buying it, or whatever you may be doing, if you're taking that and you're staking it here with a little bit paired a little bit with some Pulse, you're staking it here in this Prime FUX pool. You can take those tokens once you pair them together in liquidity, and you can stake this Prime FUX out for up to a year. And if you do that, that's what gives you the additional bonuses, and that's how you can get to the higher end of the APRs that are listed here in these pools.
Now, the caveat to that, the caveat is it's only up to whatever your share of the VFUX pool is. So I'll give you an example. If you own 0.1% of the VFUX pool, that means on the RH Maxi pool, you can only get the 2.5x multiplier up to 0.1% share of the pool. If you were to surpass 0.1% of the pool on the RH Max, then you're going to that multiplier starts to come down. And so what it does is it gives a small guy an opportunity to be able to achieve the 2.5x multiplier rather easily. And so that's why I really like it, because it's got some really cool game theory behind it. And so keep that in mind when you're building these out. So what I did is I took my LP bag and I spread it out over 5 different pools. That way, it was easier for me to like be in the range of what my share of the VFux LP pool was, if that makes sense. So it gets a little bit complicated, but it's not too bad once you kind of wrap your head around it. It's just a very, I feel like a very different way of doing a liquidity providing. So it's really cool.
Right. And here's what the Fux price chart looks like. You can see it's practically only gone up. I personally am a little wary about buying this. I bought $100 worth early on to get a little bit of a bonus for my other LPs. Otherwise, the only Fux I've got is from the free airdrop that Buck and his team have been doing. It's really interesting to see, even with the 2 airdrops they've done so far, prices up and to the right. And the reason that I'm being really cautious about this is if you look at, of course, this comparing this to the Ink token is different because Ink doesn't have the use case like this, giving you a boost on your LP. But if we come over here, let's change this to the daily.
Jeez, that's just retarded.
Oh, it's nuts. And you look at Ink on the daily.
Yeah.
And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6 to 9 days for this to top out. In fact, this is an interesting comparison. And Fux is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Geez, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days. It's just gone up. I am always wary about buying price charts like this.
Yeah, me too. Do me a favor, Dane. Can you put Tetra on there too, the new one, Tetra P?
Yeah, let's look at it.
I want to look at Tetra P. I think it's pumping also.
Yeah, I saw that. It has been, huh? Let's see.
I'm so glad I got my position on the Ethereum side.
We might need to go to Dex Screener.
Should be there.
The other thing I was going to say with the LP pool with on Fux, if you don't want to put in Tetra, or like say you've only got a certain amount of tokens, you can put the stable coins in and not Tetra.
That's a good point. Yeah, and if you don't mind holding some Tetra at the end of the movie, whatever your end goal was, like basically like a DCA plus an LP going on at the same time, that's a very good strategy. Yeah, good point, B-Hex.
Is it? I'm pretty sure. Is it this top?
Yeah,
one?
it should be that one. It's Tetra.
Oh yeah, it's only a day. Okay.
Yep, that's it. It's probably yeah. Oh gosh.
Let's change it to
God candles.
Yeah, go buy that. Oh my gosh. What's the price now, Dane? What is that? 4 zeros and what we're at now? 6.8? Is that what it's or 6.6?
6.6. Yeah, 6.6.
It's gone up. But it's not horrible. It's not horrible. It hasn't. I think it was hovering around the 3 zeros and 3 to 4 when it was on the Ethereum, and it was staying in that range, kind of just drifting. So it's not ridiculous yet, but it's still pumping.
Oh yeah, so you're up a double right now if you bought on Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
Nice, that's good. And there's a little bit of a liquidity to start, 306 grand. That's good.
How much? Sorry, how much is the liquidity?
Looks like $306,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's nice.
So
That's not bad.
Not a bad start.
They're doing it the right way, and yeah, I love this protocol. So,
Right.
But you see, it's quite interesting to compare things to each other. When Pepe came out first, and people started talking about it, the market cap was, or whatever, the liquidity was like around $5,000 or something, like $50,000 was very, very little, yeah. And look what that thing done without any use case. It's like a dumbest thing ever, and people are still just throwing money at the left and right and center. And then now we have these beautiful things in like it's a week wouldn't be enough to to sit down and making notes. Okay, I have this much, I'm gonna put it there. Okay, I have some things there. Okay, I'm gonna provide liquidity, I'm gonna stake, I'm gonna do this and that. So if the hexicans, I'm sure, they always, or let's say we always creative and, do our things. Then if these things gonna go out to the wider market and it's gonna get more attention, imagine that how nicely we could grow. And I think the main point should be to use as a mature asset class, like a proper community where we all thinking long term and like let's build and then let's put our money to work and then harvest sometimes, not just like here is $5,000, I grab the 10 grand, I'm out of here and I never see you. Like it's never gonna be sustainable. But if we can do this, which I just mentioned, I think it's gonna be so many opportunities to make money left, right, and center. Again, sorry for repeating myself. But yeah, it could be really good.
Agreed. Yeah, and Allison, if feel free to. So what? In fact, what time? I think it's 3:30 Mountain Standard Time is when Buck and
5:30.
Dylan, we're going to be on with them. We'll be back here today, later this afternoon, to have those guys on. So if you think the Fux looks interesting, you want to get more information about it, we're going to dive deep later this afternoon, just a few hours away. So feel free to join us there. It'll be cool.
Also, guys, here in 10 minutes, I know we're going to cut this one short as we're going right on to Furu's channel. So we're going to be talking about real estate and crypto and obviously the single-sided staking again. And Furu invited us yesterday to come on, so we're going to hop on right after this.
Yep. Brazology makes a good point. Single-sided staking, isn't that what Hex already Hex does already? Yeah, absolutely. So a lot to be said about that.
Yeah, the only difference in Brazology is that Hex, you earn more Hex, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong, I love it. With the Pulse X, I get to earn another token that I can dump forever.
Right. Cool. We could talk about this. This has been wild to watch. Let me share my screen again. So Richard yesterday, he went ahead and his team put up a pool on PulseX that is the Bitcoin free copy Bitcoin in the pools. All right, let's see. Earth Farms, I apologize. So right down here, he created this pool. It's wrap Bitcoin from Ethereum and wrap Bitcoin, the free copy that theoretically holds very little value. And since he opened this pool yesterday, the price chart for
wrap
Bitcoin, here it is.
Yeah.
Poof. It went and did, what is that? That's like 3x. 6 times 3 is 18. Yeah, it's up about a 3x right now. Look at this. You have this massive candle, and then it's just been trending up. So I did not hit this one. And once again, I'm not real interested in buying price charts that look like this. So be careful out there in what you're looking at buying. There was some news that was released this morning that the SEC is pushing back on some of the Bitcoin ETFs that BlackRock and Fidelity and JP Morgan Chase put out. It doesn't seem like it's an enormous deal. It sounds like they're primarily asking for clarification around who those guys plan on using, what centralized exchange they plan on using to establish their ETF. And so what'll be really fascinating, and shout out to Sami. Sami is now MIA on Twitter, but his YouTube is still going strong. And he mentioned the idea. It'll be interesting to see if this price chart front runs the normal Bitcoin price chart, to see if there's some correlation here and how the two will interact together.
I watched the same episode this morning when I was running. Yep.
It was good. You'd pointed it out, so I watched it as well. And I think this is a cool example. Whether you believe in this or not, I think it's really interesting from a marketing perspective. These are more levers that Richard has at his disposal to be able to go and make something like this. He can literally point his finger at things that he thinks should have more attention and therefore are more likely to pump. And then that you get a price chart, at least in the short term, that looks like this. And Richard has all sorts of levers at his disposal on Pulse Chain. and so it'll be fun to see. We've got another 9 to 10 months till the next Bitcoin halving, and so there's a lot of patience to be exercised until then. And we had in fact, I think it's important to point out, we had a call in our group yesterday, our mastermind with our real estate buddies. Everybody's trying to figure out how to think and feel about Pulse Chain and the ecosystem more recently. And patience is the name of the game. I think it can be tempting to go and degen into things like this when your PulseX and Pulse and are lagging and things of that nature, but steady as she goes.
Yeah.
Speaking of levers at Richard's disposal, what do you guys think of that tweet Richard made the other day about there being a lot of Hexicans in Puerto Rico? Because I kind of interpreted that as, maybe Puerto Rico is becoming Hexico.
That's where I'm at, man.
That's why Cory moved there, because you know something what we don't know.
Puerto Rico's cool.
Yeah, trying to keep my thumb on the pulse, man, so I can be tuned in for you guys.
Inside information, yeah.
Inside information, right? Get the down low, man, from these guys out here. I mean, there's one guy out here. I mean, he talks to Richard all the time on Zooms. He got Richard on stage with the band Korn. And he's really close with Richard. All over his Twitter, he's got pictures of him hanging out with Richard. And he lives out here in Puerto Rico. So, that's for me, it's the closest I can get to Richard as I possibly can to get any information out. I'm all about it.
Absolutely. Cool, guys. Well, thanks for jumping on today. We're going to go and jump on Furu Finance's channel.
Yeah, come over there and watch
just a few minutes. So, yeah, feel free to tag along. We'll be over there in about 4 minutes, and we'll see you guys over there. Once again, tune in later this afternoon, 3:30 Mountain Standard Time. We'll have 3:30 Mountain Standard Time, 5:30 Eastern.
EST.
We'll have Buck and Dylan on. Come and ask all your questions about Fux. And we're trying to wrap our heads around it just like you guys are. So it'll be cool.
A lot of streaming today.
Yep. A lot of
streaming. Indeed. You're really active.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for having us on again, guys.
Thanks for hopping on. Thanks, D-Hacks, for educating us. It was great.
Yeah, you're right. Have a great day, guys.
You guys.
Thank you, guys. All the best. See you soon.